you and I were talking a minute ago, and I was using my comic book analogy about sellers, for sale by owners and sellers sitting on the fence, and they're looking at data on the internet with Zillow and Trulia, and the Zestimates and the types of algorithms that they use to determine pricing is historically off. So I was talking with Sarah about comic books. I've had comic books way back since I was a kid, back in the 70s, and I've got a Hulk and Wolverine comic book I sent off to have graded. Now, I thought this comic book was about a $4,500 comic book in mint condition. I thought, well, it's near mint, if not mint condition. Well, they graded that comic book, sent it back to me, and it was dramatically downgraded. So what I thought was $4,500 ended up being about a $350 comic book, and that was a few years ago when I had it graded. So the point is, I'm not a comic book grader. I don't spend all day long looking at comic book prices and issues and things like that. So I was in for a rude awakening. And I think that for if you're a seller, especially a for sale by owner, you're sitting out there and you think you know what your home is worth, but you really don't. You need a professional. So Sarah, we were talking about that. What are your thoughts about what I just said?
Well, Bernie, I get paid to know the numbers. And one thing that always stays in my head is that every year the National Association of Realtors does a study, and every year people that list their home with agents, realtors, actually sell their home for more money than if they list it themselves. So in most cases, people think that they're saving a commission. In fact, they're losing money. If you really want your best return on investment, you're always better off listing it with a real estate agent who understands the market. And some agents are clearly better than others. You want a professional that studies the market, such as Bernie and Terri Christian.
And we do study the market. I study the market just to come on this show. I'm just in the market, and I love data. I mean, that's just part of my personality. I love data, and I love trying to interpret and understand it. Talking about data, we were also talking about that over the show. Share with us some data about Keller Williams versus other brokerages, and whatever else you have to say that you want to share about Keller Williams.
Well, it's always interesting to me. Everybody thinks that they're number one in the market, or that's the spin that they always put on it. But truthfully, the data doesn't lie. So we studied the data to see where we're positioned in the market at any given time. For example, looking at just the month of November. In the month of November, there were 7,700 listings that were new to the market, and that was about a 15% increase for the entire multiple listing service. Our office actually had a 95% increase in the month of November. So that tells us we're outperforming the market by about 80%. That number does not lie, and then ultimately that's reflected in our results.
When you say we're outperforming the market, are you talking buyers, sellers, brokerages? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the closed units, or the listings in this case. The closed units were outperforming the market as well. We look at what the multiple listing service is doing as a whole, and how do we position with the multiple listing service? Are we doing better than the group of thousands and thousands of brokerages? Are we doing worse than those brokerages?